I was interested in purchasing a firearm, and obviously there are mechanisms that you have to go through. And at one point, we're doing a background check. I actually passed out my medical marijuana card, and I didn't mean to. I meant to actually give out an ID because they look very similar. And the person selling the gun was like, "Oh my God, you're on medical marijuana?" He threw the card at me, and he said, "Are you trying to get me in trouble?" He said, "You can't purchase that." And I had no idea that as a patient of medical marijuana, my Second Amendment rights were then infringed upon.
It really does have a stigma to it. It really does. When I go to a medical doctor and they ask me what my medications are, which are not very many, and I do say that I take medical marijuana, they don't write it down.
I have an autoimmune disease called ankylosing spondylitis. Essentially, it's an inflammatory arthritic disease, so it's extremely painful, which leads me to why I'm a patient on medical marijuana, because I use it as an opioid alternative and it helps me with my pain.
It seems like one day I was fine, and then the next day I was totally disabled. I take it before I go to bed because it has CBD in it, but it also has the THC in it. So the THC really does help with the pain, and the CBD helps with the inflammation, which most autoimmune diseases are caused by inflammation. And if you go to a dispensary, you will see people of all different ages because it helps with lots of different types of diseases.
Well, it's definitely allowed me to live a life less, first of all, there's big risk with opioids. I mean, I come from a family that has addiction in it. So it's always in the back of my mind, hey, Jesse, when you take this medication, there's the risk that because addiction is inherent in your family, you could get addicted.
We have a crisis in this country with pharmaceutical drugs and opioids. And this is a plant, and it has no side effects. An African-American man is 5 times more likely to be incarcerated than a white person. They have a joint, and rich white people get to come in here and spend $19 for that joint, and it's okay. So I have a huge problem with